Yeah, so we're doing our recap here today. As you know, usually when we do this, we don't do our usual segments. We
Mm.
just do the recap and we'll do like a script. That's been our process the past few times. So one of the segments we won't be doing, obviously, is the questions.
Some of the favorites.
Yeah, yeah, of course. This is a little break for today. So yeah, one of the segments we won't be doing is the questions from the fans and the listeners and our friends. But I do want to ask you a question.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because this opening was rather boring. And I was like, is he not gonna normally he starts off with some like weird joke, some weird like unfunny shit joke. But like today you've I'm joking there, yeah.
Because we're not doing the question segment, I
But
wanted
you
to ask
edged
you
it
a
into there.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. I knew I was tricking you too. I could feel you being like, you're not going to
Yeah.
do a weird opening. He just jumped right into it. No, what I was going to say was the last time we recorded, I think it was 2 or maybe 3 weeks ago now. Um, Midway into recording, I was thinking to myself, why is this the happiest I've ever been in my life?
Mm.
You know? I was saying that's because I love being in your company. And look, Sebastian, I know you're not gay, and I'm not either, but you know, we could try for each other. My question is, will you marry me? Gotta give me something, man. I
Um,
actually thought you froze for a second.
I'm good.
I thought you froze for a second, and then I thought you were pretending to be
I
frozen.
was. Yeah, I
You were just
was.
adding.
Yeah.
That reminds me of this great fucking Conan O'Brien story. I was just watching him talking about on his podcast the last day. Is when he first got his talk show, he was like not a known entity at all. Like he was just a writer on SNL and The Simpsons. Um, like no one knew him, and he was taking over David Letterman, who was like the biggest talk show host in the world at that point. And it really just shows Conan's spirits that he always stuck to just being his own unique, funny person and like never doubled down. Is David Letterman still had a few weeks left of his show while he after it got announced that Conan was hosting, and he interviewed Conan over like a Skype call or something digital. Obviously, it wasn't Skype back then, but something digital. Um, and David Letterman said to Conan, like, "What do you think? What are you most excited about hosting this show? About becoming a talk show host? What are you most excited about?" And Conan just went, "Well, I'm so glad you asked, Dave. You see, the thing is, and then he just pretended to be
Why
frozen for
why do I feel like
ages.
I've seen that before?
Oh, it's on YouTube. Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Yeah,
He pretended to be frozen, and
I like
it's
that.
just, I love that because here's a guy who's just about to fucking make it, and you think the way that you have to behave is like being on your best behavior and trying to make a good impression and stuff like that. But he was just like, I want to be funny in the way that I know I'm funny, uniquely funny. So he just did
Yeah.
that weird bit, and he's David Letterman didn't like it. And that's even better. That instead of just licking up to this guy whose show he's taking over, this guy who's revered, is he pulled a weird prank on him that he didn't appreciate. I respect that so much
Which is
more
it's
than
actually surprising as well because I thought he would find that funny.
apparently he didn't. Yeah, yeah. I think I like David Letterman a lot. I think he's nicer now, but back then he was a little bit of he was known to be a bit of a curmudgeon who
Mm,
kind of felt like everyone around him had to respect him. And it's Conan's job as a comedian to take those people down, even the people who are also
exactly.
comedians.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
that's a comedian's job. And then it's funny because oftentimes actual comedians can forget that due to success or something. They start to get in their own heads and they forget that's their job, and they become those kind of people that
Yeah,
expect everyone around them to
we
respect
see
them.
it happen all the time.
All
There's
the
the
time. I think Kevin
ego.
Hart,
Yeah,
yeah, Kevin Hart can be quite like that. You see him in interviews and like
I can't stand him now.
really, yeah,
Yeah,
I get that. Seth Meyers or Jimmy Fallon or someone might say something kind of like jokingly disrespectful, making fun of his height or something, and he just can't take it. It's like, come on, man, like you're a comedian, fucking
yeah.
joke back with them. you do something about them, find a joke about them that's funny. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what frustrates me. This clip will be used in me in a few years' time when I get big, and I'm like that.
Exactly. I'll be DMing it to you if you even read my messages anymore.
There's hundreds and hundreds. When are we recording the next podcast? Um, the thing I hate the most as well, Kevin Hart does this in a few other like the really really big boy comedians in interviews. They wear sunglasses.
Yeah.
Firstly, yeah. Firstly, sunglasses are annoying just because you're so cool, but also it's like if it feels like you're saying I'm not going to be present with you today. I'm going to be difficult.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because it's always the people that never did, and then they get really popular, get an ego, start doing it. Because if you're someone like Snoop Dogg, that's
Yeah.
valid because he always has.
He
He
was already
always does
his
that.
aesthetic was cool.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
always wore sunglasses, even before
Hmm.
he was that famous, like that Snoop
Yeah.
Dogg. Whereas like these
Totally.
celebrities just start doing it. Like, yeah, it's quite
Mm.
annoying.
Even I saw Mark Norman the last time he was on Theo Vaughan's podcast was wearing sunglasses. And I was like, what are you
He's
doing,
probably
man?
hungover.
He probably was, to be fair. I always excuse if that was the case. If you're just trying to be cool, it's like, come on, dude.
I have seen him wear them a fair lot though. He does on like the Joe Rogan
He
Protect
does,
Our
yeah.
Parks ones. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe he's just hungover because that man drinks more than me,
Yeah.
and that's saying a lot. Anyhow, let's jump on in. So yeah, we're finally here, guys. It took us close to a year and a half. We are finally recapping the show's shortest season in years, the 35th season of The Simpsons. We're done. We're wrapping it all up into a neat little package, as they say. So yeah, let's jump in. So like I always say, like we always do, we'll do our bottom three episodes
Mhm.
first, our top three episodes. I think it's best to start off negative and go to the positives. We'll do our favorite guest star and then our favorite couch gag. Sound
Sounds
good?
good. Yeah.
Please, yes. Let's do our bottom three first. I'll let you give your number three
Yeah.
first.
So
Three
what?
being the
So
least worst.
yeah, the least
Yeah.
worst. Okay. I
Mhm.
think I might potentially surprise people when
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to make a prediction. I feel like our top threes won't be very similar for our bottom our least favorites won't be very similar. And I think our
Yeah.
top three won't be the same either, apart from one episode. That's my
I
prediction. Let's
think
find out.
I might surprise people. I've done some recapping.
Mm.
And
But there are
potentially
episodes
they
I forgot about.
yeah,
And
there
like
are.
episodes
There are.
I thought were from the previous season. I'm like, oh, that
Yeah.
was this season. you know?
And my opinions have maybe changed a little bit. Um
Yeah, retrospective and stuff.
yeah. So
Naturally, yeah.
anyway, with number the third worst episode of
Mm-hmm.
this season, Murder She Wrote.
There she both. Okay.
Yes,
Fair enough.
I
Yeah,
my
see.
final score for this is a 5.5 out of 10,
Damn.
being harsh.
True. Yeah.
It had a great premise, like really good kind of actual story, like idea,
Yeah.
for like a
I
murder
enjoy it.
mystery cruise. Like it's a
Mm.
good idea. It was quite visually engaging as well. Like they're very
Yeah.
creative with the animation. Obviously, it's
Really
nice to
creative.
see that when they're not always in Springfield.
Mm.
Um, but the negatives that I think let this episode down was, I think, to be honest, it was the Taika Waititi cameo.
Fair enough.
Over, it was over abused, if that's even a term. It was
Overused.
overused.
Yeah.
Yeah, why did I have to go to? But it was
Go for
overused, and he got too much focus in the episode, which actually kind of drew me away from it a little bit. I
Sure.
think the good thing about cameos is that they can seamlessly fit into the episode and it's fun, but I felt like he was
Mm.
like the center of attention.
Yeah.
It was crowded with minor characters, didn't really
Mm.
matter. Um,
Yeah.
Fairly predictable. And I do think the humor in the episode was fairly weak as well.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not going to be. It's not in my top three, but it's not my bottom three either. I quite like Murder She Wrote. It's not an exceptional episode. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, the new location was fun. I thought they had fun parodying the whole murder mystery thing and like that the treating this toy being broken as being such a big deal. And I liked all the different characters coming in. That's sometimes made the Simpsons at their finest when they just get all these
Good
random
point.
characters a
Mm.
little. role in the episode. But Marriage was the Monorail is a great example of that. The casino episode. Um, I really like Taika Waititi. I know he seems to be someone who divides people, especially recently. But I really like him. I like his persona. I like his sense of humor. I like him as a guy. I didn't mind him being in the episode as much as he was. I found him
Mhm.
very entertaining and funny. But yeah, yeah, totally agree to disagree. For me, it would be like mid tier, probably even close to the bottom.
Yeah,
Uh, but not my top, not my bottom three anyway. Yeah, fair enough. My number three, I bet will be in yours somewhere. Is Thirst Trap a corporate love story?
got you.
Yeah. Um, I honestly, looking back over season three, five, it has its highs and its lows, but there's honestly no episode that I hated.
No,
Personally,
me neither, to be fair.
yeah, there really isn't. And I was quite positive when we reviewed this episode. It is one. The more I think about it, there's elements to it that aren't great. Like it definitely abandons Mr. Burns' usual persona in favor of a story, which I don't always. I'm not always against. And it's done very clearly in that, like, he's clearly kind of like brainwashed by this woman, and that's why he's behaving a little differently. But it does become disappointing when every season is going to have a bunch of Homer episodes, a bunch of Bar episodes, but with the characters outside the family, you're never sure how many they're going to get. And when you
Hmm.
have one episode of Mr. Burns as the focus, you're like, okay, well, there's probably going to be two in the season at the very most. So it's a shame that this ended up being one of only two episodes where he's the focus. And the other one, he's a proper Mr. Burns, but this one, he's not the character that we know and love
Yeah, it was
at
jarring.
all. Yeah, it's
Very
jarring.
jarring.
It's also just disappointing when you see an episode where Mr. Burns is the main character. Like, oh, we're going to get some great Burns gags. It's like he's not that character that we know and love at all. That like evil, conniving, selfish old man. That instead he's actually just a pretty decent guy for the whole episode. Which it sounds funny to say that I was disappointed that he wasn't evil and corrupt, but that is what
No,
makes
it's
him a
true though.
fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's true. It's
that's
his
what makes him a
charm.
fantastic character. Yeah, so yeah, you see even this, it's like, oh well, that's one of the only Mr. Burns episodes we're going to get in a while, and we didn't get Mr. Burns as we know and love him. So that's definitely where it suffers for me mainly. The whole documentary aspect of it doesn't fully pay off either. Um, there's an interesting elements to it, but it's definitely like for me, it's like a 6.5 that rewritten a little differently easily could have been an eight. Because it has a lot of interesting elements going on, but it didn't succeed massively in a lot of those elements. You
Agreed.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
that's my number three. Yeah, number two for you.
Yeah, a fair choice. Um,
Yeah.
the second worst episode of
Mm,
season 35
yeah.
is one that had some good elements, but it's McMansion and Wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, again, fun moments, tester jokes,
Mm,
interesting. And but I think yeah, sorry, what let it down was the kind of unresolved Bart Nelson subplot. Um, the script felt like it was rushed, felt like it was unfinished in a way.
hmm.
It didn't feel like the episode really had a proper direction, which is a bit of a shame because it was a good idea. It was really funny.
Yes.
It felt, yeah, just stitched together. Um, yeah, so that's sort of my main point is the fact that it felt like a directionless episode. It didn't really feel like it had really been even an established script, to be honest.
Mm. Yeah, no, I completely agree. For me, McMansion and White, more so than any other episode. Like there's episodes in in the season that didn't fully pay off, but like at least they were trying something different. Like
Yeah,
Third Strike was definitely trying something different,
yeah,
even if it didn't fully work. But yeah, McMansion and White was just so bog standard. It's such a throwaway episode. It just didn't feel like they cared. You know what I mean? It's just getting the job done. And it's
hmm
totally like it's a harmless episode. Like if somebody was flicking through and like, oh, the Simpsons is on, and that episode came up, you wouldn't bat an eyelid if you're a
yeah,
casual viewer of it. It gets the job done perfectly, but it does absolutely nothing special with two plots that had potential to be
exactly.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just kind of does just the bog standard version of it. This is like kind of how I insult scripts I don't like now. It's a very modern way to insult something, but it almost has like an AI feel to it. Like I feel like ChatGPT could have came up with the the outcomes of these plot lines. You know, like it
I
never went
agree.
anywhere unexpected or different.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
agree, 100%.
yeah, like I said, perfectly passable episode. That's like there's nothing to hate about it, but there's also nothing to love about it. It's just so bland.
Exactly. And why would anyone really bother with it when we already have so many episodes that are
Yeah,
also throwaways and yeah.
throwaways, but have so much fun
Hmm.
in that. Yeah, like especially the earlier seasons have episodes that are like really, really like boring setups, but because the setup is so plain, it gives them the opportunity to just have so much fun with like different gags and different characters.
Hmm.
You know, whereas that episode, that's something that this episode could have done because of its plain setup, but it just even the gags in it were not like
Yeah.
sensational throughout. You know, yeah, but yeah, perfectly passable episode, just nothing spectacular. My number two was you might be surprised. I don't know. My number two is Bart's Brain.
Really?
Yeah,
Very interesting.
yeah. Bart's Brain was just one that like when I'm looking through the seasons or 30 episodes of the season, that one stuck out to me. It's just one that again just had like so much potential that didn't pay off. I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I made it very clear why that episode didn't work for me in the very last podcast. But I just felt like it definitely showed that it was the case of the writer's strike, and had they would have drafted it more had the strikes not happened. So it was an
Do
unfinished
yeah,
script.
I do remember we were
Yeah,
kind of a bit disappointed. I do remember that.
100%. Yeah, and like I said before as well, is it starts off interesting and um the first 10 minutes I think are actually really good, and the second 10 minutes it's like I just didn't agree with where it went. I think it would have been so much better if they kept the focus on Bart, but they just made a really random, quite strange decision. I thought to change the focus to being marriage and the rest of the family, especially I feel like Bart episodes are getting scarcer recently.
Hmm.
You want when it starts off with Bart, you want to stay on Bart. So suddenly it
Definitely.
switches to marriage and Homer, and I'm like, no, I like having Bart. Give me more Bart. I like his perspective, you know. Um, so yeah, but again, nothing wrong. Nothing. Well, there is stuff wrong with the episode, but like it's one that you can switch on. Like it's good fun and it gets the job done. But I feel like it could have been 10 times better than it turned out.
I agree. I think to me that even though it didn't make my worst three, it's bottom mid.
Bottom tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Cool. Number one coming up then. Drum roll,
Yeah, drum
please.
roll. I don't know. We might have the same number one. Let's see. I've gone for Telltale Pants.
Telltale Bands. No,
Yeah.
no, not my
I've
thought was
done
fine.
some
Fun.
recollection from this season.
Yeah.
I'll start with the positives, as I always do.
Mhm.
Stylistically, really cool episode.
Yeah.
Notably, really enjoyed the final scene, in fairness.
Mm.
That rough animation style had quite a bit of personality. Why are you're smiling at me like you're
Uh,
disappointed?
no. I'm just remembering the episode and being like, that's a fun
Yeah.
episode.
Um,
I
but
quite
I
liked
think
it.
what let it down was its rushed pacing. I think the storytelling was a bit sloppy. Some
Yeah.
of the bits of plot felt pointless.
Mm.
Um, like the what was it? The vapid Homer slash Marge marriage crisis. I felt like it was a bit of
Yeah,
an
yeah.
unfinished mess.
A plot line has
Um,
been beaten to death for
so
sure.
yeah, I felt like just them points there just really, really dragged the episode down. And when I thought about it, I thought all these bottom tier episodes I could watch again. I wouldn't
Mm.
want to watch that one again. I just didn't like it.
You think this is the only one that you really wouldn't want to watch
This is
again?
the only one I wouldn't watch. Like if it
Wow.
came on
Okay.
TV, I'd be like, no, don't fancy this.
Yeah. Fair
Yeah,
enough. Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I definitely rated this throwaway. It's a very pointless kind of saying of the episode, but I actually feel what I said why I did like this big mention of why earlier that I actually think this is an episode that has quite a lot of fun with the pointlessness of its story and just like has fun with gags and stuff instead. The
yeah,
song about the pants about wearing sweatpants at work I thought is really fun and creative and inventive. I think it's fine. Yeah.
yeah.
But hey,
It's where
to
me
each
and
their
you
own.
differ.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. I'm not saying it's fucking top tier for me or anything. If anything, it's probably like bang in the middle. Like what? There's 18 episodes this season. If I was to actually make a list of all of it would probably be somewhere like 12 or 13 or something. Like, so still
Yeah.
kind of like towards the bottom. But yeah, that was fine. That was a fun episode. I got the job done. Like entertained me. Yeah, fair enough. No, well, when you said you think we might have the same number one, I knew we wouldn't because you've already said it. Number one for me was McMansion and Wife.
Wow. Okay. All
Yeah,
right. We
yeah,
almost
yeah,
agree. Yeah.
yeah, totally. Like I said, I have no point in repeating myself, but I just feel like it's the episode that sticks out to me the least to me when you look through the season as a whole. Every other episode is, even if it's set up as samey, it ends up doing something kind of fun or different with that setup within the episode. This episode just did exactly what you'd expect it to do with its plot line and nothing else. With both plot lines, nothing
Yeah.
else.
Fair point.
Yeah, yeah. So for me, this is one that sticks out, just being like such a bland episode that, yeah, just it did nothing special whatsoever, and it's just utterly forgettable 20 minutes of television. Yeah. That's how it felt, yeah. But let's move on over to the positives then and do our top three. Before that, I actually have an honorable mention because it was so
Of
close
course.
again. Yeah, I was mixed between this one and the one that ended up being number three for me. Um, so I do want to give an honorable mention to Homer's Crossing, which is again an example of just like what a dumb setup, like very boring setup. You read the description, it sounds like it's gonna be a terrible episode. Homer becomes a crossing guard. You're like, oh my god, they're really running out of
Yeah.
ideas. And it just had so much fun with that concept. Took it so far. Like we always love when Homer gets something that just like makes it his entire
Yeah,
personality.
and like it's the fact that on face value and looking at it from a critique expect perspective,
Yeah,
yeah, it's probably not good. But because it's Homer and they double down on the plot, you
so
can't really even
much.
say it's bad.
No,
No,
I'm not saying, I'm saying it's great.
yeah,
I think it's a really fun episode. I think I gave it an 8 out of 10 when we reviewed it, and I stand by that. I thought it was a solid beginning to the 35th season, and it just shows how much juice they still have left that they can take as writers, that they can take a really seemingly dull setup for a plot like that and just take it in a direction you'll never expect. Like when he employs all these different crossing guards, they have guns and everything. Like
yeah,
just it just goes so haywire, and that's like Homer when we love him best, is that when he manages to turn something so simple into this complex thing, because to him it's such a big deal that therefore everybody else should think it's a big deal also.
and I like that because that's kind of an accurate take on like modern America.
Yeah, oh, it
Is
totally was. There
people
was a
want
little
to
bit of a clever
feel
commentary in there
people that live in
also.
those places want to feel important, and yeah, so I like it.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. No, it was actually a subtly quite clever commentary in there as well. They're so good at stuff like that because
they are.
they have their finger on the trigger. Like they're very aware of what's going on in the world, and they're smart writers, well read people. Yeah, but yeah, I see you probably don't have any honorable mentions, do you?
Sadly not.
No, no
No,
worries.
sadly
Yeah,
not.
no worries at all. Throw your number three at me then.
Yeah, so the third best episode, season 35, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
is Night of the Living Wage.
Living Wage, yeah, sure. That
Yeah,
one was close for me too. I would say it's probably my fifth.
fair.
It's closer. Yeah, it is great.
Yeah, obviously, the few letdowns, slight tonal hang-ups, Homer's behavior felt
Mm,
too extreme in moments.
for sure.
We do love it, but sometimes it can be too much. But the fact that
Yeah,
that's my only critique of the episode shows how much hold it in high regard.
yeah,
So yeah, I thought it was sharp. The jokes were sharp.
definitely.
It was a relevant critique of like the late stage of capitalism.
Mm,
I think it was very intelligently written, with the workplace scenes. The emotional stakes were really good. I really liked the pacing of the episode, and really unexpectedly funny in moments as well.
yeah,
So it really caught you off guard. It was witty, it was really funny, and the plot was really good as well. Like it was
good.
a really good all-round episode. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, yeah. It definitely be close for me as well. It's a well written episode. The animation is great. We
Yeah.
can't not mention the bear sequence. That is
Oh, of
brilliant.
course. Yeah.
So well done. Yeah, I always appreciate when an animation can make something look fluid. Like they did the whole bear thing of it looking like a shaky camera, which can't be easy. So you got to appreciate how much they pulled that off. And yeah, it's also worth mentioning how celebrated this episode was. It's probably the most critically acclaimed for the general public, the most critically acclaimed episode of the season because it was
Mm.
nominated for the Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program, and it won some sort of humanitarian award. I forget what the specific award was called, but it was for like because of how much the episode kind of celebrates and addresses the problems that working class people experience nowadays.
Mm.
So yeah, definitely worth mentioning that. Yeah, it's a very well written episode. It's smart, it's funny, it's clever, and we also love a marriage focused episode when you can kind of take that character in a different direction because she is on paper the blandest member of the family. So when you can make her kind of unique and stand out, that's always a winner for me. I definitely
Exactly. And I think
yeah
subconsciously that's also what I really enjoyed about the episode. I think
yeah
seeing something different with Marge.
totally. We love an episode where she's being independent outside the family, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
done really, really well here for sure. Sweet, yeah. My number three, yeah, like I said, was really close to being four. I was going to toss between it and Homer's Crossing is Treehouse of Horror 34. Uh,
Fair.
yeah, worth mentioning, nowhere near as good as uh, the Treehouse of Horror last season for me, but that's hard to compare because that's
Hot.
one
Yeah.
of the best Treehouse of Horrors there has been, not
Hmm.
just in recent seasons, ever.
Ever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so good. But I still think this one is great. The first segment falls a little flat, the Bitcoin one, but not not Bitcoin. What was it? It's not even relevant anymore. The fucking thing that they're NFTs.
Oh yeah, of course.
I couldn't remember because NFTs are totally irrelevant now.
I felt like even when the episode came out,
I
NFTs were
know
irrelevant.
they're
Yeah.
already kind of passing away. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing with animations. I'm sure when they first started developing it, they were relevant, and it just fell to the wayside, thankfully. But yeah, that thing is fine, but it does fall a little flat. But the other two I think are brilliant. That's why it
Hmm.
falls number three for me. The seven parody is fantastic. Great to have Sideshow Bob in a
Hmm.
Treehouse of Horror segment and having him be like Hannibal Lecter. I thought what's his name? Kelsey Grammer's performance there was brilliant. And Yardley Smith did a great job playing an older, like weathered version of Lisa. I thought did that so well. And that
Definitely.
whole, so yeah, so good. And that whole like alternate reality of like if Bob had actually killed Bart in that episode, what would their lives be like now? That was just a clever thing to do with the Treehouse of Horror. And yeah, in a more simple way, I absolutely loved the final one where everybody turns into Homer. Just
Oh yeah, amazing.
yeah, that's like one for the fans. You know, that's
Hmm.
something we all wanted to see.
We
What
really needed that.
so good? Yeah, what would a Homer version of all of these characters look like and behave like? And it paid off, and it was just super super fun. Yeah, so just
Yeah.
yeah, all around a really really solid Trials of Horror for sure. Yeah, sweet. You're number two.
Nice. Yeah, my number two. I didn't go for Treehouse Horror.
Yeah, sure.
I went for Iron March.
Iron Marriage, fair. Yeah,
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 so again, another surprising Marge episode, which I'm not
totally.
always mad about.
Mm,
Um, Only negative, and it's barely a negative, was the B plot with Agnes Skinner. It felt like a bit of a throwaway, but I think the only
yeah,
reason I'm not fussed because the main plot was good.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, like it was a great plot, character driven, which we love to see.
absolutely.
It was pretty
Very
well
simple.
balanced as well.
Mm,
Um, the writing was really strong. Love the interactions of all the characters. And obviously the post credits, very satisfying as well. I can't
remind,
quite remember what happened. I remember watching it and the post credits. We spoke about it. I can't quite remember what
mm,
happened, but we this is not good. But it was in my podcast notes. We spoke
sure.
about it.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't remember either, but sure, it was good.
yeah. And it was a
Yeah,
great
yeah, fair.
payoff. Yeah.
Mm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It didn't make it for me. It definitely would be in top 10. It is a good episode. Yeah, it's wonderful. You said, yeah, character driven. Totally. It's so simple in a good way.
Hmm.
I mean, like, yeah, the joy of The Simpsons is that there's so many areas that the show can go in any given episode. They can go super wacky or they can go super grounded. And this was like an incredibly grounded episode. Like
Yeah,
there's
which
no
we
guest
like.
there. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's no super cartoony moments either. Like it could literally have been an episode of a live action sitcom. Like that's how grounded it is. And personally, I actually didn't mind the subplot because I thought the whole dynamic with Homer and Agnes was fun, and
Hmm.
also it made the episode a very rare episode where all four key members of the family had an important role,
Very good point.
which I thought was
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, and because of that plot, the main plot being like slightly more serious, with the history of marriage's childhood and stuff like that, and marriage and Lisa or Bart and Lisa trying to do well by her. It was nice to have as a silly, fun and games Homer plot line to kind of balance it out a bit, you know. So I enjoyed it, and it was
yeah,
again
fair.
just a version of Homer making everything his personality, which I always just love. Is him getting obsessed with the whole neighborhood watch thing and taking it way too far,
Yeah,
and reaping the consequences of that.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good fun. Yeah, yeah, really, really wonderful episode. I would not fault you for having that in your top three at all. But yeah, my number two is also a marriage episode, a very different one to the one you just mentioned, Mid Childhood Night Stream.
Fair.
Yeah, yeah, I thought it was a wonderful episode. Definitely opposite what we just said of like it being a very grounded one. This is them going
Hmm.
the whole other way. It's like what, probably 80% of the episode, 75% is a dream, is all in her head. How it does that is I thought was so well written. It was almost like Christopher Nolan esque, and I like the non-linear way that the story was told. It was a beautiful encapsulation of what it's like to be a mother and the fear of your children growing up, and I thought it captured that really beautifully. And is yeah, again, it's an example of like us getting a deeper, more human side to marriage. And I thought, yeah, I thought it was done really, really beautifully. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what we could establish so far, it was a good season for Marge.
It really was. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When you think about it, because even maybe it ends up being your number one. I don't know. It's not on my top three, but it's definitely a great episode as well as Planet of the Cave Mom was also a
Mm.
really solid marriage episode. There was a lot of episodes that really either did what you expect from marriage but built on that, like this episode. We know marriage is a good mom. We know she loves her kids, but it goes in on that in a deeper way. So we had episodes like that. Same with Planet of the Cave Mom. But then you had episodes like Night of the Living Wage that showed a different side to her, a more
Hmm.
independent side of her that just wants to succeed. You know, in episode two, she is trying to do well by her family. It starts to mean more to her than just doing it for her family, also doing it for herself. You know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you're dead right. Yeah, we that like I just said there. That's at least three episodes this season that really kind of showed very unique sides of marriage, or just built on her character in a very cool way. So yeah, it was a very solid season for marriage
Mm.
for sure. Yeah, yeah, loved Night of the what's it called again? And Mid Childhood's Night Dream. Yeah, just sort of a wonderful, incredibly well written episode. Yeah, sweet.
Which
What?
seamlessly leads me into my number one episode.
And my hint, my guess from earlier was that we had to say number one. But prove me if I'm wrong.
We would not be right
Oh
because you've
yeah, you think?
mentioned my number one.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Clan of the Cave Mum.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
right. Oh fuck. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. Again, in recollection, I think it's one of them. I know I watched it and enjoyed it at the time. We spoke highly of it.
Yeah,
Um, but my opinion on it's changed.
it definitely sticks out when you look through all the episodes of
Yeah,
this. It really sticks
definitely.
out. Yeah.
Um, what I can't say much bad about it really.
Mm,
It was very experimental. I
absolutely.
enjoyed the dual like storytelling element of it.
Yeah.
The modern day to caveman parallels.
Mm.
Kind of a little homage to 2001. Um,
And obviously a parody of that Netflix series Primal. Um,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
as I said in that podcast, I'm still blown away. I literally assumed that they got Jendai Tarkovsky to come in and animate those sequences, but actually, it's just done by the regular animation
Hmm.
team. They just did a fucking
Genius.
incredible job.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolute geniuses. Yeah,
Um, yeah, really refreshing. Um,
definitely.
really emotionally resonant. Even
Mm,
though, you could say there were minimal jokes, it had, for what jokes it didn't have, it had a lot of heart, and
definitely.
creativity. So
Yeah,
yeah, for that reason, it's my top season.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree with that. There's definitely episodes of the show that aren't as heavy on jokes, but if it's heavier on story or like doing something kind of interesting, like animation wise or even story wise, I'm I'm not annoyed if it's not as heavy on the jokes.
No,
And that,
yeah.
yeah, and that was definitely the case with this episode, especially with the caveman sequences. There's no jokes at all in
No.
those sequences. I actually those sequences would have suffered if they tried to be funny.
Hmm.
They're better and more unique and like kind of gritty and dark and a little frightening because there's no jokes being made and it's that different animation style and it's a bit jarring that's so tonally and stylistically different to the show. And it's one of those things that again, like I've said many times on in the podcast, like why not? Like we're on the 35th season. Why not do something so experimental?
Exactly. And it paid
Yeah,
off.
it pays off big time. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful episode. Yeah, would again be high up for me. Probably like fifth or sixth, probably. Definitely
Mm.
great, great episode. And
Wow,
now
we
on to my
really
number
don't
one.
agree on much, do we? We agree what good and bad episodes, but we don't have the same anything.
Not really. No, we didn't have any episodes in common in the top in the bottom three, did we? Apart from McMansion and Wife. Yeah, you didn't have
Yeah.
Thirst Trap or Bart Spring. Yeah, I genuinely thought this was going to be your number one because I recall you really liking it. Do you know what it's going to be?
Tell me.
Cremains of the Day. Cremains of
Yeah.
the Dead.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
I
it's
genuinely
yeah.
had no doubt that was going to be your number one. To me, looking through the season as a whole, when I said episode, I'm like, this is the episode where just everything is perfect for me. There's like I have no faults with it. Like I just think
Mhm.
it's so good. And looking at it with more context, I'm like, oh, does it all so well? It tackles the the very dark theme of death in a really great, honest way, while still being a fun episode. There's something about road trips for me that I always love. I love road trip movies, road trips in TV shows. I just love like characters being out on the road together and not quite knowing what their destination is. I'm always obsessed with that concept, and think this episode does really well. The dynamic of Homer, Lenny, Carol, and Mo is done spectacularly. I thought, and it had that beautiful theme of killing off Larry, the guy who literally we knew nothing about, but he's always in
Yeah.
the bar. I thought it was a really kind of beautiful thing that we've experienced in real life too, where it's like we feel guilt of like not knowing somebody after they pass. Like, oh wow, I
Oh,
never gave that person.
100%.
Yeah, like oh, I never gave that person any attention. I knew nothing about him. I thought it tackled that really well, and like kind of
Mm.
showing us a little bit about what his life was like and how much he revered and appreciated Homer and the other guys at Moe's, even though they thought very little
Yeah,
of him.
super depressing. But yeah.
Super depressing. And it's one of those plot lines that like I never thought the show would go there, but I'm so grateful they did.
Mhm.
You know, I just thought they tackled it brilliantly. I just it really. And looking through the list, there was never any doubt when I saw that episode. I was like, oh, that's my number one. That's
Mhm.
the episode that stuck out to me the most. I thought it just all built perfectly. A Homer episode is always going to be my favorite episode of the season, just because he's my favorite fictional character in history. And this is a fun, different, unique take on Homer. And I love his friends as well. And I thought they built on Mo, Lenny, and Carol brilliantly in as well. The dynamics of all four characters is just done so brilliantly. We mentioned in that podcast that it had like a Coen Brothers tone to it, like a similar.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
did.
it really
Mm.
did in a really fun way. Like it always would have been a two-parter. There's just so many areas that this episode could have gone. The whole road trip aspect to it, I just thought was done super well, and yeah, just stands out to me as just being the most, just the most unique, the most well written, well rounded episode of the season for me personally. Yeah,
Yeah, fair. I mean,
yeah, I'm
it's
surprised it wasn't
definitely
even in
up
your
there
top
for
three.
me. I know
Mm.
I'm surprised, but yeah,
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, you think it'd be close, maybe top five, top 10?
potentially number four, really.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Okay. You reckon it's a
Yeah,
close call? Yeah. Yeah. It is great. It is great. Yeah. It's one that I think those lists that pop up all the time of being like, oh, episodes that prove the Simpsons still has a spark in them, stuff like that. I feel like that's an episode that will appear in those lists
yeah,
a
for
couple of years
sure.
down the line. It's really a unique and just spectacularly done episode for
The
sure.
feminists are going to really love my top three if any do watch this.
I know at least one female who listens for sure. That's a good point. Was it all set up to appease the
No,
women?
definitely not.
So that's just like, I'm single. I'm gonna fucking talk about all the marriage episodes and how much I love marriage as a character.
Strong, independent women.
All right, that wraps up that. Yeah, just to kind of like reflect on season 35 as a whole. Definitely wasn't as good as season 34, which a lot of people call the show's best season in years, and I would agree with that. And I
Yeah,
had,
I'd agree.
yeah, and season 35 had a tough act to follow as a result. But looking at it on its own, I thought it was a solid season. It didn't have any episode I thought was bad. It had episodes that were better than others, but it had a good mix of episodes that were different and episodes that kind of stuck to a traditional Simpsons formula, but we don't mind a few of those every season as well, you know?
Yeah, it was solid overall.
Yeah,
Solid.
overall just solid. Yeah, didn't quite build on the uniqueness of season 34, but it was just good fun and did its own thing, you know? Which is totally fine too. But yeah, moving on from there, last time we did a recap, we read an episode that I wrote, and
Mm.
I love the whole process of doing that. I love the challenge of trying to write my own Simpsons episode, so I decided to set myself the exact same challenge this time. So we're gonna read that right now. What I did last season was I kind of wrote an episode that the show would realistically never do, a sequel to Homer Goes to College. So my challenge this time was I tried to write an episode that would might actually like the show would actually do it. Like it's something within the realm of the Simpsons to tackle. I tried to write a more conventional Simpsons episode this time, and I'm proud of it. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I won't give anything away about the plot. We'll just jump in. But this is called Barney's Back, and similar to how we did last time, I'm going to do the stage directions and play Homer, and Sebastian's going to play everybody else.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Let's jump on in then. Exterior, Springfield Elementary. Sign. Today, Springfield Science Fair. Tomorrow, the father and son dance. It's as weird as it seems. Interior, Gym Hall. We see several kids installed presenting their projects to the public. Martin presents a hamster that never runs out of energy. Wendell presents a diorama of the dangers of coronavirus while appearing visibly unwell and people actively avoid him. Milhouse presents a surefire way to keep your parents interested in you. He stands on a small stage with Kirk and Luann either side of him.
I like mom more. That's fine.
Kirk exits.
I like dad more. You think I care?
Luann exits.
Damn it.
He frowns.
Pathetic.
Chalmers grades Milhouse a C.
That's not bad. Yes, I feel sorry for you. I'll take it.
Cut two. We see Homer strolling with Marge, Bart, and Lisa. Every kid in this dump is either a genius or an absolute moron. No in between.
Which one am I?
You're dumb, but cool dumb. The best kind.
I can live with that. It's really concerning. Ralph nearly killed himself with an electrocution ray.
And Nelson's wedgie machine was way too effective. Nelson runs up with torn tighty whities.
You sure you don't want them back?
Joke's on you. I like going commando. He walks ahead. We see his behind is wedged right into his pants. Nelson shudders.
You caused something you hate. I've tasted my own medicine, and it's bittersweet.
He walks away sorrowfully. Homer continues to strut his stuff. Lisa runs up to him.
Dad, you have to see this.
Unless it's a sign for a crazy deal on tacos, free beer, or a Big Bang Theory marathon, I'm not interested.
You really like that show? That's for idiots who think they're smart.
Good point. I really fall into that character. I'm more of a casual genius.
How'd you figure?
Well, I might not cure cancer, but I have a recipe to make a meatball sub even tastier. Get this, more meatballs.
Come on, Dad.
She grabs his hand, bringing him over to the main stage where Professor Frank braces for anticipation.
Behold, ladies and gentlemen, I have created a medicine that can turn the most obsessive alcoholic into a total megalomaniac. Megalomaniac? You don't use big words in this town. Some people stop listening.
We see the crowd start to walk away, almost as if they don't realize they're doing it.
It's a scientific... s- Wait, what?
Psychotomy.
It's a scientific psychotomy of scrupulous proceedings.
The crowd unanimously goes, then turns back. Honey, I see what you're doing, and I'm not here for it. Daddy tried giving up beer once, remember? I switched my addiction to steak and went into cardiac arrest. Remember, sweetie?
We had to have Christmas in the hospital.
But the dinner was great. Mmm, lukewarm gravy.
Dad, look.
Barney enters the stage. Barney? Yeah, right. As if anyone could keep that man away from booze.
What happened to you and Barney? We never see him around anymore.
Somebody we're talking about, sweetie. Pan 2. Interior, Moe's Bar. Title card, 6 months ago. Moe serves Lenny, Carol, and Homer a beer. They all cheers, then gulp down their drinks in one swallow.
At what point should I stop encouraging?
Less talking, more pouring. Homer hands Moe several dollars.
Yes, sir.
He starts pouring. We pan over to Barney. His beard is stubbly, his shirt sweaty, and hair messier.
What about me, Mo? I like beer. Yeah, we know you like beer, Bon. Your tab implies you like beer more than anyone ever stepped foot in this joint. Oh, come on. Can't be that much. How about $3,400? Seems like little to you. Actually, make that 3,445, because you never paid for that pizza back when I briefly tried to make this place an Italian-American restaurant. $45 for pizza? Your pepperoni was raw. Pepperoni's supposed to be raw.
I got this one, Barney. Homer hands Moe some cash.
Geez, thanks, Homer.
You got it, pal. Just pay off your tab and we can get you back on the booze train. The best train to be on, because there's no cops to pull you over for a DUI or a wife to tell you to spend more time with your kids.
Good point, Homer.
He swigs back a beer.
That beer went right through me. Makes me want more beer. I gotta take a whiz. Stop calling it that. It's not gonna catch on. You wait, Mo. You wait.
He exits.
Homer, what the hell?
What? You know the old saying, an alcoholic in need will be pleased with a beer indeed.
I don't think that's right. No, Homer. Barney's absolute mooch. You buy him one drink, he'll cling on to you. Yeah, Homer. Mo isn't the only one who owes money to.
Oh, come on, guys, it'll be fine. It's like my dad always said, just shut up and get me a beer.
You're very fond of your sayings today.
But it wasn't fine. This is narration, but it wasn't fine.
What?
W- were you not listening to my story?
You weren't talking. You were just playing the story out in your head again?
Maybe.
What did the psychiatrist say?
That people don't know what I'm thinking. We hear Bart laugh.
Child psychiatrist.
It's all we could afford on short notice.
Why? 'Cause you're broke?
We do very well considering how little we have, you ungrateful brat. Bart squirms. Lisa struggles to break the tension.
What were you saying? It wasn't fine, Dad.
Oh, yeah. Barney did haggle me for more beer. Barney comes back from the bathroom, urges Homer to get him another beer. He reluctantly does so. Once in a Lifetime by Talking Head starts playing. Before I knew it, I was blowing twice what I'd usually spend every night just to make one of my best pals happy. We see Homer and Barney clinking their pint glasses, cut of them dancing on the pool table. Barney urges him to switch the song on the jukebox. The montage song changes. Road to Nowhere starts playing. They dance again. Eventually, I was brokered in the American justice system.
Real hot take, Homer. All right.
Homer checks his wallet. He only has pennies. I was pulling in extra shifts to the power plant just to get by. We see Homer working late at the power plant, looking exhausted. Cut back to him and Moe's, looking beaten. Barney joins him. Homer gets him a beer. Barney kept saying,
I'll get you back soon, Homer.
but soon never came. Eventually, I was cutting back costs and time by buying 12 packs and drinking with him at work. Barney and Homer throw back beers at Homer's safety station. Thankfully, Mr. Burns is never there after hours. We cut to Mr. Burns in his office. He sees what they're doing on CCTV. He rolls his eyes. But much like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it all became a little bit too much. Interior, Moe's. Homer looks beaten. His eyes are bloodshot. Moe hands him and Barney their beers. The music fades.
Thanks, Homer. Don't worry. I'm gonna get you back soon.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. I got some pretty big interviews coming up. Big things are happening to old Barney here. You live in my disabled bathroom. I'd agree with things, but not in the same optimistic tone you said it in. The line was right, but the inclination all wrong.
You know, Barney, I was going over just how much you owe me. Homer takes out a notebook.
Come on, Homer. You don't gotta do that.
Don't I? He opens a summary of what Barney owes them. Between the hundreds of beers I got you here, the bottles at the power plant, and that night you pushed me into renting out a brewery,
Hey, we had a great night. I'll forever never forget that lady.
there was a cardboard cutout of Duff Gal, Duff's brief and pathetic attempt to be diverse.
She was so sassy.
You owe me $2,000.
God damn it, Barney. Between me and Homer, that's nearly 5 grand. Don't forget the 500 you owe me, Carl.
He owes you both 500?
We share an account now.
Then he smiles gleefully. Carol looks embarrassed.
It's just easier. I'm sorry, guys. I'll pull it together soon. I promise. Enough of your promises, Barney. Either pay up or get out. Homer,
He looks to Homer, whose gaze indicates he doesn't have his back this time.
I guess I'll keep handing back this beer, Mo.
He hands him his pint glass. A bit hits the counter. Barney sips it. Mo hits him with a rag.
No counter booze for you.
He sneakily pours the beer back into the keg.
Come on, Scruffs. We know it's not what we wanted.
A rat exits from the bathroom, joining Barney.
I never said Scruffs couldn't stay. But
He looks at the rat, who also looks disappointed in Barney.
it two Scruffs?
Barney exits. Homer looks guilty.
Don't worry, Homer. It's what needed to happen. Yeah, look at it this way. Instead of buying a beer for you and a beer for Barney, just buy two for yourself.
Homer's frown soon turns to a smile. Make that three.
Yes, sir.
He fills up one pint most of the way, then wipes the remainder of the counter booze onto it. Homer starts drinking. And so, till I forgot about Barney and my own regret for potentially giving up too soon a good friend, I drank. Then I would remember, so I drink again. And thus began the rest of my life. We pan back to interior gym hall.
Doesn't have to be for the rest of your life, Dad. Barney's here now. He clearly wants to make a difference. Let him.
Lisa, if I learned anything about this town in the 38 years I lived in it,
You're 39.
Homer counts, whispering, oh my God, you're right. Gross. It's that people in it don't change. Sure, people change briefly for a specific event, but everything goes back to the way it was pretty fast. For better or worse, that's Springfield. And that is the case with Barney Gumble. We cut back to Frank, his assistant, and Barney on stage.
And now I've managed to get this projector working. Sorry, it took me a little longer than expected.
Oh, that was convenient.
Very.
He puts up a sign on the projector, the Soberatron, making even the biggest booze hounds into boring people who stay home on weekends playing checkers. Frank presents a microchip.
Behold the Solvertron, a simple chip that, when lodged into an alcoholic's brain, oh,
Whoa.
I've
Oh,
never
sorry,
got,
it's Barney.
oh, I've never gone as far to say alcoholic. And therein lies the problem. We placed in to the brain of the bumbling but lovable booze bag. That's better. Yes, he will begin to taste the alcohol so much they will never want to drink it again. Glavin, Gary, if you will.
Gary, his assistant, struggles to lodge it into his brain, being very gentle.
Oh God, I'll do it.
He merely shoves it in. Barney screeches, but seems quickly relieved. Frank glares at Gary.
You truly are proving to be the poor man's Smithers.
We cut to Burns and Smithers in the audience.
Hear that, sir? Why on earth are we here, Smithers? You want to find the young genius protege so you can have their brains. Oh, yes.
Burns appears gleeful. He wanders off.
Now, sir, have a taste of this delightful new edition of Duffed LTNE. You strangely are sponsoring this invention.
Ooh, lime flavors.
Dad, you hate lime.
I like anything in Duff form. Barney takes a sip, immediately spits it out.
Well, it's terrible. Like the taste of beer when you first have it in its naive age of 8. Oh my. It sucks. And you think it'll never take a toll on your life until you keep drinking. Eventually, the taste and the feeling it gives you becomes enough to lose everything, like your house and even a good friend.
He smiles at Homer. Homer smiles back.
What will you do now?
Right the wrongs I've made in my life.
First, one more try.
He takes another sip, spits it out.
Well, this really does suck. Yes, we'll be taking a can away from you now. Discard of it, Gary.
Gary takes a sip.
Oh, come on. You're fired.
Gary shrugs, exits. Burns walks up to Frank.
This one seems promising, Smooth. Very well, sir. Boys.
Burns' goons take Frank away. Him and Smithers follow.
Wait, Gary, come back. Gary? This is a weird presentation. What do you say, buddy? Do you forgive me?
Homer thinks, then nods. Barney looks gleeful, then runs for him. Homer gets joyous too. I miss you, buddy. Oh, we see Barney's hugging Scruffs.
Let's never spend this long apart again.
He puts the rat down.
What about you, Homer? Can you forgive me?
Of course I can. They hug.
He just touched a rat.
I don't care about that kind of thing, Lisa.
I'll get the money back to you, Homer.
Thank you, Barn.
I just have one favor to ask of you first.
What's that?
I need to stay at your place for a while.
The comic book guy enters wearing a t-shirt that says worst episode ever.
Oh, come on. The Simpsons have already had many Springfieldians live with them. Lovable but loud Willie, the self-deprecating Gil, and now controversial Apu, and even with a vengeful sideshow Bob. I mean, we're really gonna be a stickler. You've done this gag before.
Comic book guy stares at his t-shirt, then frowns.
Touche.
He exits. Interior house. Homer watches as Barney sets up shop in the sitting room. He covers their boat painting with a text. Sobriety is a gift. Sponsored by Duff. Homer looks skeptical.
You know, Homer, if Barney changing his life around like this, maybe you could too.
What are you getting at?
I bought one of Frank's chips.
You see, Marge has a Sobertron chip. Marge, why would I want to hate the taste of booze? It's what makes life worth living and keeps you looking beautiful.
Homer, the amount of money you spend every night on booze. Could you imagine a world where you don't have to drink? You just don't come home for dinner and sleep? Really to embrace your family, your children, while they're still children.
Homer imagines a thought bubble appears. He plays a board game with the family. They all laugh as he loses all his money in Monopoly. Oh, it's not about winning. It's about being with you guys. They all awe, then hug. The thought bubble disappears. Homer shudders. Ugh, marriage? I don't need to give up booze. I can quit anytime I want.
Prove it. Don't drink for a week.
What?
You can go cold turkey for a week. Go for it. If not, you do the chip.
Fine. But remember this, Marge. It's all about winning. And when you play Monopoly, don't buy too much properly at the start. It seems wise at first, but eventually screws you over.
Okay?
I'm glad we had this conversation and are able to be so open as a couple. Barney enters back, hair gelled back and wearing a shirt.
Well, I'm off to my new job. Where are you working, Barney? Homer got me a janitor position at the power plant. That's not what janitors wear. Oh,
Hey, that's my thing.
sorry. I'm trying to find a new thing. Now that I'm no longer drinking, my burps aren't impactful.
Interior power plant break room. Homer, Lenny, and Carol drink coffee and eat donuts. He's saving up to buy us to pay us all back. Meanwhile, the new Barney is making Marge think I should give a beer as well.
No beer. What do you do?
He thinks I should spend more time with the kids.
That wouldn't work. Never been with more of a father. Much of a father.
Exactly. Thank you, Lenny. You guys get me.
Hey, it's Friday. We'll bust one open now, you know? Get us through the post-lunch blues.
Carol grabs three bottles from the fridge. Homer smiles, grabs one. Barney enters in, mopping.
Come on, Homer.
What?
Oh, don't mind me. Just clean the break room. Which ended 45 minutes ago, by the way.
What crawled up your ass?
Scruffs one time. He told you?
Scrubs is a rat. He can't talk.
I'm just saying, Homer. Got two beautiful kids. Three. I have three kids.
First I heard of it.
Several great kids. Gorgeous wife. Marge wants you to try. Why don't you?
Homer looks at the bottle, nods. You're right, Baird. Here you go, Carol. Carol tries to take the bottle off Homer. He has a firm grip.
Homer, let go.
I want to, but I can't. Barney grabs onto Carol, trying to get the beer off. Then he grabs onto Homer.
What are you doing? Sorry, I got confused.
Burns enters.
What the hell is going on here? Struggling to sufficiently torture that professor with all his blue blue. Help me. Quiet.
We hear him get electrocuted. Mr. Burns looks around, sees how clean the place is.
Why, I say, this place has never been so clean. You're new. You responsible?
We think he's talking to Barney, pan out to reveal it's Homer. Sir, I worked here for 10 years.
Hmm. How come our paths never crossed? It's me, sir. I'm the new janitor. Why, nice to meet you, Mr. Gumble. Barney Gumble. Oh no, that would stand. You're Fred Barkley now. I like that. Say, safety inspector position just opened up. It has? Well, hasn't been anywhere for 2 weeks, I assume.
Lenny and Carol glare at Homer. He tugs at his collar.
Do you say pays twice as much?
Mr. Burns, that's my job.
Perfect. We'll show him the ropes, and you're fired.
But, sir,
No buts. Now I must see if I can use this professor's skills for
zoom in on his face.
evil.
He laughs out loud, gets shy, nods to all of them.
Back to work.
Interior safety station. Barney works the desk. Homer now wears the janitor outfit.
This is great, Homer. Now I'll be able to pay off all you back.
But Barney, you took my job.
Hey, look who's talking.
I took up the janitor position because I can't be unemployed. But I hate it. The place just keeps getting dirty again.
Oh, I couldn't pass up the opportunity like this. All I gotta do is press a few buttons for a few hours and I'm done.
He presses a button. The room goes into a core meltdown. He panics, presses another button. It all goes back to normal.
Yeah, things are really looking up for Fred Barkley.
Homer frowns. I remember when I used to cause meltdowns. Ah, the good old days. Exterior power plant. Homer clocks out, passes security. Later, Frank.
Next time, Homer. And hey, be sure to look into the large janitor pants. You're making me question my sexuality.
You see Homer's pants are pressing hard once again. This has not been my day. Interior house. Homer walks in, smells. Hmm, nothing that can cheer me up better than the smell of Marge's pork chops. He strolls in. Interior dining room. You better have left the fat this time. Huh? You see Marge and the kids are seated while Barney serves up dinner.
Oh, Homer, you're back. Just in time for my new dish. Tofu chops. So the whole family can enjoy it. Even Lisa. It's nice to feel thought about for once. No offense, Dad.
Who's talking? Lisa frowns.
It was so nice to take a break from worrying about dinner for once. Thank you, Barney. It's my way of saying thank you. Your hospitality and your smile makes my day every morning.
Marge blushes.
Mom really has the worst type. We say that again. Why? Just an expression. What's that? How are we in the same school?
I'm going to Moe's.
Hope is not to drink. Remember the deal, Homer.
Yes, I remember the stupid deal. I'm just going to drink alcohol-free beer and talk to someone who isn't ruining my life. Homer storms off.
It's a mean thing to say about Maggie.
Interior Moe's. Homer enters in looking exhausted. Oh, Mo, you will not believe the day I had. We see Barney's at the counter in an apron.
There he is.
What? How'd you even get here before me?
I've taken up jogging. It's like driving without having to worry about pedestrians.
Exterior Moe's. We see Mole Man's on the floor.
You could worry about them a little.
Interior Moe's. Why are you working here?
Gonna pay off all my debt. I gotta keep going.
We see Mo relax at a stool.
I've never gotten to sit back, enjoy a beer before. The drink, the stool, it's all just terrible. Is your like guy's idea of fun? Why am I standing there looking all angry at Homer? Grab a seat. Remember, alcohol free only. Yeah, it's just as good.
Carol takes a sip of Dub Zero. He spits it out.
I thought if I said convincingly enough, even I believe it.
Homer screams.
Be careful with
Ah,
the screaming. You'll strain your throat.
you're taking everything from me. My job, my family, my bar, my booze.
You can have it all back. You just gotta change your ways first.
Don't make me feel worthless just because you've been sober for 3 days. You're an alcoholic mess. Everyone here knows it, and I'm gonna prove it. Barney removes the chip from Barney's neck. He
Oh,
breaks it.
Homer, no.
He looks around. The beer makes him drool. He attacks their beers.
I didn't want it anyway.
He grabs Carol's Stuff Zero, puts it back.
Terrible, right?
He goes right for the keg.
It's nearly empty anyway, so go ahead. You're still fired.
Professor Frank enters, stitches around his head.
Help me. They took my smarts.
He falls to the floor. Smithers enters, drags him out.
Remind me to give them to you when the NDA's at work tomorrow.
Mr. Burns enters with Frank's brain taped to his head.
Be sure to use the men in the black memory erasers on them, Spurious. Could do that. Get the technology working, sir. You could never get anything working.
We see Barney at the keg.
You can't have my safety inspector getting intoxicated. I'm fired. I can explain.
Foam comes out of his mouth.
Pathetic Simpson, you're rehired. No booze, I see. Sensible fellow.
Can I still wear the janitor pants? Frank said they made my ass look nice.
Why are we still talking?
He exits.
Homer, why did you do this to me?
You can make your life better by stealing someone else's, Barney. You gotta start with you and fix yourself. A little science experiment isn't gonna fix your problems long term. It's like to make rib. It's nice for a while, but if it stuck around, you'd realize it actually kind of sucks.
That's a confusing analogy, Homer. Total nonsense. But I get it. I can't expect something or someone else to fix me. I need to fix me.
He burps.
I missed that.
Don't worry about the money, Barney. Just get your life together. I'll be right here when you do.
Well, thanks, guys. Whoa, I didn't say you didn't want my money back. Yeah, I would still like it very much. I know what I have to do.
Exterior rehab. Homer and Marge walk Barney to the door. He's holding a suitcase.
Let us know if you need anything. Thanks, Marge. Thank you, Homer.
I miss having a drinking buddy.
Maybe we could go fishing sometime.
Oh, Barney, that sounds awful.
See you later, guys.
He strolls in. Marge and Homer look proud. We hear the opening of the can.
Homer?
It's been a week.
We're outside the rehab center, and you drove here.
Don't worry, Marge. I'm watching myself. He takes a sip of Duff Zero. It's terrible. As Marge watches Barney, he takes out a regular Duff can, writing zero on it with a Sharpie. Yeah, some people never change. When you try hard enough, you can improve. While still saying true to yourself.
That's beautiful, Homer.
I read it on the back of a coaster. Marge murmurs. Credits. There you go. Yeah, that.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
Well
that's
done,
Barney's back.
Dylan.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's a fun episode. Yeah. Yeah, I'm proud of it. I feel like you read it, you can see it happening in the show. Like,
Definitely. Yeah.
yeah, like realistically, like, and I'm proud of Homer goes back to college too. But like, the show is never going to make a sequel to one of its most famous episodes. But that's like a normal classic
Yeah,
Simpsons
no,
setup. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
Barney trying to.
seamless. Seamless
Yeah,
episode.
thank you very much, man. Yeah, Barney trying to go sober. I was really intrigued to want to do a Barney episode, an episode centering around him because I feel like that's a character they kind of have pushed focus away from recently.
Hmm.
Like they give Mo and Lenny and Carol a lot to do, but for some reason he's the one character in the bar that they're not focusing on as heavily as they once did. Because Barney used to be more prominent than Mo at the very beginning of the series. So yeah, I felt like kind of like adding some sort of canvas like where he's been was like a fun idea in my
Yeah.
head. And yeah, I ended up just running with that. And yeah, so proud of it. And glad to have it out there in the world now. And
What do
yeah,
you think of my voices?
I
That
was
was
thinking as I
difficult.
yeah, I know. I'm throwing quite a big challenge at you as someone who doesn't even act. I was thinking as you were doing Barney, I was like, oh, maybe I should have cast myself as Barney as well because I can do a pretty decent Barney, probably better than my Homer. Um, but yeah, it was fun. I mean, I gave you praise last time for incredible marriage impression, and it was still rock solid, just very entertaining. Your Burns was genuinely good.
My what?
Your Burns, Mr.
Burns.
Burns.
Fair,
Yeah,
fair.
that was a solid impression. You can see the love you have for that
Makes
character.
sense, yeah.
Yeah, you were giving it your all. Yeah, I really enjoy a little stuff that I have as well of him fucking trying to take Professor Frank's brain. Ultimate supervillain. But yeah, yeah, really, really fun and proud of this episode, and happy to have that out there to the public now. I
Yeah.
hope other people enjoyed. But yeah, otherwise, guys, that is pretty much it for season 35, our wrap up. Thank you guys, as
Man.
always, for listening. And we'll be back really soon to
We
jump on
will.
into
It's been
36.
such a long journey.
It has been.
Such
And
a
let's,
yeah. It's been
yeah, it's
nice.
been, I think, a couple of months. I promise we'll try our best to try and get our episodes of season 36 a little bit more little bit more often. Yeah, definitely don't want to take as long to get that done. And thankfully, all season 36 is out now, so we don't need to worry about.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
hope it's all there waiting for us. Yeah,
And it's been
so I'm
nice
super.
to go on this journey with you guys. Nice to get to know you all,
Yeah, sounds like
whoever
you're
you may be.
whoever you may be. Sounds like you're giving an emotional send off. Like you're just gonna vanish away after this, and your soul will descend into the stars.
Yeah.
You never know. But yeah, that being said, yeah, thank you guys as always for listening, and we will catch you really soon. Good luck.
Adios.
Ciao, ciao.